Alright, welcome to this channel. First video going up on this, and I'm kind of making it real quick this Monday morning on July 9th, 2018. If you're brand new, which, 100% chance you are, pretty much, I run Pit Stop TV, which is an iRacing broadcasting service, and I used to have a YouTube channel that I would just put anything on, and that's what this is going to be now. This is going to be basically a continuation of my old YouTube channel before it turned into Pit Stop TV, and I'm just going to say whatever the hell I want. And yeah, I think I have a 15-minute limit for this one because I'm brand new, so time to work around YouTube all over again and start from zero, but it should be fun. I want to thank you for even watching this video if you're doing so. Yeah, hopefully it's not too terribly boring or anything. For this first one, I'm just going to be talking about some NASCAR stuff, quite honestly, and showing some iRacing screenshots on the screen. You might be able to expect some iRacing in the near future. Might start even streaming to this channel. I'm not totally sure yet. I haven't really decided. Even Fortnite, I mean, I just played around, play with my friends, that kind of thing. But, we'll see. Anyways, for now, I want to jump straight into this, and first, I actually have to add a source. I even forgot to do that, so I will do this real quick. And we're just going to go ahead and watch some of these highlights from NASCAR at Daytona, because, oh boy, is there a lot to say about this shit show of a race, realistically. NASCAR at Daytona, always cool, but quite honestly, it was a cluster. So yeah, let's just get down to it. I think there's a couple of recap videos, so let's see if I can find one that isn't 15 minutes long, because that's what NASCAR wants me to watch on their YouTube channel. So we'll even bring this up for you, and I have a lot of things up on my top of my screen there. I have a lot of Google Chrome tabs. Anywho, let's get straight into things, and you know what? I had this all lined up yesterday. We're just gonna go ahead and look at, man, I guess we're just gonna go ahead and look at this one.
If you write anything on your
And
computer,
that's okay.
you need to get Grammarly.
I write
YouTube is being YouTube. Let's just go ahead.
It's 4th of July weekend at one of America's iconic sports venues, Daytona International Speedway.
Drivers, start your engines!
Fired up when you're ready. Fired home.
Fans on their feet as the Coke Zero Sugar 400 is underway. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 17 out front, 3 wide as they fight for second at the end of stage 1. Stenhouse.
So, pausing it there, quickly want to mention stage 1 was really quick, and honestly, I didn't even watch most of it. I was on my computer most of the time, I think. I don't think I was really paying it much attention because it started out super boring. I think by lap 2 they were single file, or at least trying to get single file. So stage 1 was really uneventful. I think the only thing might have been Menard's spin, and that might have even been stage 2. Stage 1 went by really quickly. It was really straightforward. Stage 2 is where things get going.
Jr. winning that stage. Full tire for the 70, and around goes the 21. Paul Menard up in the air, but he keeps it down on the wheels. Paul Menard, when he got turned around, all 4 wheels looked as though they had come off the ground as he was sliding sideways. And around goes the 2. Too big of a push. He caught the 41.
The big one.
Logano's caught up in it.
Oh, my goodness.
Denny Hamlin. Austin Dillon has damage. Daniel Suarez trying to avoid. Ty Dillon sliding in.
Ricky was pushing him and also turning down the racetrack, and that was enough to turn the 2 car around. There's just so much happening right there, and they were coming up on Williams so fast that I believe Brad was sort of throttling down a little bit.
And we'll talk about that last trick in a few. We'll also talk about this one some more in a few as well.
my goodness.
Sideways the 18, hard into the wall. Around goes the 24 as well. William Byron sliding all the way to the inside wall. Jamie McMurray caught up as well. Kyle Larson avoiding the 18. He went way down on the apron.
Not following his line exactly. He's also trying to side draft. So Ricky's trying to side draft 18. 18's coming down to side draft 24. Just a couple bad decisions there.
It looks as though it's going to be Ricky Stenhouse Jr. sweeping the first two stages.
See, oh!
A lot of sparks flying. The 42 goes around, collects the 17. Larson around and got Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as he was going.
Right there,
got a
see?
flat tire.
Yeah, he had a problem. It just spun all by himself. I saw sparks flying from the car.
Yeah, right rear tire.
Yeah.
Right rear tire come apart.
Oh, into the wall again. This time Eric Almirola caught up. The 00 of Joey Gase and the 34, who had a great run tonight, gets caught up in it, Michael McDowell.
Oh, Jimmy Johnson as well.
And a wheel rolling down the racetrack. The next flag will call it the 14 around. Boyer into the wall. The caution comes out just before they get to the start-finish line.
Some big impacts.
Bain caught up, as is Bubba Wallace. Brendan Gaughan also in this.
Bubba's got a little tire rub there, but he's shoving and he just turns, pushing so hard. And Clinton was moving around on the front bumper and it hooked him into the wall.
Coming to the tri-oval for the final time, Eric Jones has won at Daytona.
Listen to that emotion. Zappy.
All right, I think we can stop that there. And again, back to those couple of wrecks. First off, you have Ricky Stenhouse Jr. trying to chase bumpers, and that is never something to do in any sort of plate racing. I don't care if you have the most even bumpers imaginable. You don't chase bumpers, because if for some reason you mess up and you're coming too fast at the guy that you're pushing, you can hook them easily. It's just, you don't chase bumpers. I don't know what Stenhouse is doing. Let's see if we can find another look at this, I guess. But realistically, no, it's so annoying to me, I guess, to watch these guys tear up these cars because they're just sitting here flat out, not lifting, not thinking about the run they have on somebody, and Stenhouse just full throttling into the back of other cars. And of course, Brad Keselowski is blaming William Byron, and that's the wrong thing to do. William Byron throws a block, and he's just doing what he has to do to preserve his lead. That's just racing with this package. It realistically is. So yeah, let's see if I can find that clip of that wreck. They kind of took a couple videos down, I think, off their YouTube channel, because I had a bunch lined up yesterday. Either way, you saw it already. I don't know what the hell Stenhouse was doing Saturday night at Daytona, just sitting here chasing bumpers. And if you don't know what I mean by chasing bumpers, basically what I'm saying is if you have a run on somebody and you're going to come up and you don't want to pass them, you don't want to make any moves, you just want to push them. That's fine and dandy, that is great. But you can't chase their bumper around the track left and right. You can't be swerving while they're swerving. Because if they're moving to try and play with the air and get a run up on the guy in front of them, realistically, you just shouldn't be hitting them, period. But if you're going to hit them, you have to make sure to hit them extremely square. And you can, test that theory out even on iRacing. It's just, you're going to see the exact same thing happen. If you're moving around when you hit somebody, almost 9 times out of 10, you are going to hook them. And that's what happened with Stenhouse, and I think this video will show it.
Just waiting for whichever line. Huge push. And
Alright, so that's what I'm talking about here. We'll go back and watch this. And I want you to watch, if my cursor shows up, there it is. Watch this 17. That's, of course, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He's going to be all over Keselowski, because right now, what Stenhouse wants to do is Stenhouse wants to push Keselowski up underneath Byron. It's pretty straightforward. He just wants to get that bottom line out into the lead. And Keselowski's going to be coming up and he has to be expecting the block. It's plate racing nowadays. He has to be expecting that block. So Byron's going to come down
just
and
waiting
watch what
for
happens.
whichever line. Huge push. And around goes a two. Too big
See,
of a
Stenhouse never really stops pushing. You can see he
Whichever
got
line.
Keselowski squirrely. He got Keselowski squirrely once, never really lifted, and when Keselowski had to lift, Stenhouse is just sitting here still pushing. It's ridiculous.
And around goes a two. Too big of a.
So that's, I mean, realistically, that's what it comes down to. And we'll go ahead and go back here. We can show one more, if we can find the one with Busch. I don't think it's there. So anyways, that kind of wraps up mostly what I want to talk about with the Cup race. I also want to mention a lot of people are trying to blame stage racing for a lot of these wrecks, and I want anyone who thinks that stage racing is a bad thing, especially on plate tracks. We'll talk about other tracks later on in different videos. But for plate tracks, if you think stage racing is boring, or not boring, but the wrong move because of the wrecks, rather, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, quite honestly, just because there were still huge wrecks years prior without stage racing, before it was ever even a thought. They just happened all at the end of the race. So really, all this is doing is spreading the wrecks out, giving guys a chance to push and then back off. Push and then back off. I think it's great. I don't know what you're complaining about. The other thing I want to talk about before I run out of time, because I only have 15 minutes because of restrictions, is going to be the Justin Haley incident. And realistically, I could care less if J.J. Haley wins a race, but we're going to go ahead and view Scott Miller's explanation on this before I give a short spiel.
Meet the sweet and savory bacon smokehouse burger.
And there's an ad.
The
What do you know?
crafted recipes by McDonald's.
McDonald's.
There's clear rules in the rule book that you have to race above the yellow line, and we have two wide yellow lines, a black line in the middle, and our definition of under the yellow line is when the left side tires go below the inside most yellow line. So the reason that there's the rule is it was actually instituted by NASCAR quite a long time ago when things were getting completely out of hand with 2 and 3 cars below the yellow line. We didn't have rules to keep them above the yellow line. There's no telling what kind of craziness may ensue. And guys, you know what would happen if we quote unquote swallowed the risk. We would be inundated with how come they don't enforce their own rules. So
All right, so we're going to stop this kind of short. I just want to talk about the actual move here from Justin Haley. First off, everybody's saying it was a great move. You're not wrong. It was a pretty good move. The only problem is Haley then decides to keep going down. And I understand it's a reaction to Sadler here as I run out of time. It's a reaction to Sadler moving down. But you see, Haley is in the process of making the move here. And at first, he gets right down to that yellow line. That is perfectly legal. NASCAR is saying what he did right there so far is perfectly legal. The other thing is he gets up here, he gets his nose ahead of Sadler and Larson, and he moves. That's when he moves below the yellow lines. Before I run out of time, I just want to stress that is not a complete pass. That's simply nosing ahead. At the line, yes, Haley would technically have the lead. However, this isn't at the line. This is in the process of making a pass. You can't go below the double yellow lines while you're in the process of making a pass. I don't care if you have half the car ahead until that right rear fender clears the left front of the other cars. You can't go below the yellow line. That's what NASCAR is saying. So until you have that pass completed, NASCAR is saying you cannot go below those double yellow lines. That's why Haley was penalized. You see here, he's well below the lines here. He has those left sides well below the lines. That's what NASCAR is saying illegal. Yes, his nose may be ahead of these cars, but he has not completely passed them. That's what NASCAR is saying illegal. Anyways, thank you guys for watching as I run out of time here. It's been fun just yelling about NASCAR stuff for 15 minutes. I plan to do a lot more of this in the future just because I like doing it. Hopefully you guys watch. And yeah, definitely subscribe if it's your first time around here. There should be more videos in the future. Thanks, and I will see you next time.